Hello there, I'm Jeanne Martinson with Wood Dragon Books, and today we are interviewing Monique Desrosiers, author of the new book, The Cartwright Men Marry. There is a time travel factor in this book where the reader goes from the mid-1800s to 2019. Tell us about this, Monique. This is fascinating.
When I first wrote the book, that part didn't exist at all. I did have some modern day people, and I just couldn't connect them. And I think through discussion with you and of course thinking more about it, it was something I needed to connect with the past. And there is something that happens right at the beginning of the book that I was able to pull from, and I dragged it throughout the whole book. And it's just a little mystery that gets solved by today's generation of Cartwrights.
The four women the Cartwright men meet and marry. Okay, there I just gave a little bit away. They're all very strong in their own way. So how important was that in your novel? Because often historical or Westerns do not play up the strength of the women characters.
Okay, as I said, I imagined all of those men and what kind of woman they would be attracted to, because it was easy to be attracted to the Cartwright men. But what kind of women would they have fallen in love with? And it wouldn't have been today's irresponsible, or today's, any day, an irresponsible person or immature or an airhead or anything like that. She would have to have been mature and serious, determined, knowing her direction kind of woman.
Well, I am sure that everyone is very curious now to read about these four women who meet up with these four guys throughout the book. In our next segment, Monique, we're going to have you read from your book. But before we go there, I know that many would-be authors who might be on this call want to know, how was your experience, this journey of becoming an author? As a first-time novelist, it must have been quite a new journey.
It was unnerving. You don't know if you're good enough. You have people telling you that it's a good story. I thought it was a good story, but I don't know if I'm a good writer. I certainly relied on you a lot, and I really appreciate your knowledge and your experience, Jeanne. You have certainly made this a better book than what it started off to be. But my total experience has just been overwhelming. I'm just so happy with being able to share this story that I think is worth telling.
Thank you, Monique. Before we break, I just want you to hold up the book for a second so people can see the cover.
All right.
So designing a book as a publisher is kind of a unique situation. Our designer, which is really kind of funny, for the book cover actually lives in Northern England in the UK. And so when we were talking about the cover and what would be on the cover, he was kind of, okay then. And I could tell that okay then kind of meant, are you crazy? And so we actually sent him those four hats, come from many pictures of the four main characters from the television show. And I said, we don't want their faces or their bodies, just their hats in some unique way. And so he did a lot of research to see how it was that he could represent the four characters through the image of the hats that they wore. So when you do see the cover, obviously the one for Haas is very clear, but some characters, some readers are saying, okay, now I'm pretty sure this is the one that that Ben wore, and this is the one little Joe wore, and this is the one Adam wore. So when you do see the cover in real life, I think you might kind of find that interesting too. So when we come back in the next segment, Monique is going to read from her new book. So we'll be back in a moment.